Well, Jaylena just spilled coffee all over my nice boots. That's it.
I was trying to share.
We'd been drinking coffee already, and I was like, man, I wish I had a little bit extra. She's like, want some of yours? And just went like to the side and poured it on my boot.
Just missed the cup completely. No, I'm
Yeah.
just kidding. I did pour some in there. It was when I went back to tilt it. It went right on his boot.
And on that note, I wanted to say our separation has helped our relationship.
I guess it's kind of wild to think, and it was something that we never expected, obviously. But I don't know. Things are just different now.
Yeah, so pretty much, I guess, backstory is we started dating and we kind of started living together pretty quick. We know out of wedlock, we're sinners. We know. But we almost from the get-go, literally, just put our money together. We're together 24/7. We met because we worked at the same job. At the time, she worked from home. I worked in the office. It's where Jared works. Scam Likely's calling me. And it's probably work calling and be like, where y'all at? Y'all never came back. But, yeah, so she worked at home. And then whenever she moved in, she started working in the office just because it was very easy to do. Jared, myself, and Jaylena all worked together, so we would take one car, stuff like that, and it worked out really good. But that was the only time we were away from each other, was when I was on one side of the building and she was on the other. And even then, we'd eat lunch together, stuff like that. So then we ended up, Jaylene and I ended up leaving that job.
And then so I had another job, which that was the only time we were away from each other's when I was at work, which at the time I did work a lot.
Yeah, and all of this was before we were married.
Mm-hmm.
And then so she worked a lot, and I was doing like video work for bands, and then I would be gone for a couple of weeks at a time if there was a tour or anything like that. So we got our alone time then, but then it instantly turned back into we started doing video work together.
Well, I started doing the social media for the band he was working for. So then it was like
we were really together 24/7, and then
we were on tour or anything, like we slept in the same bunk on the tour bus.
Yeah, and the bunk's tiny. And the reason we did that was the other bunk had all our stuff in it, and then we slept in one. It was just, I don't know, if you've ever been on a tour bus, it's miserable. But everyone always thinks like, oh man, like a tour bus, and it's like, it sucks. You're living in a house basically with like 13 dudes. That's a whole different story. But yeah, we were together a lot, and then we started doing more of like production style stuff for bands. We wouldn't really travel. It'd be more of like music videos, stuff like that, and photography and whatnot. So we were together all the time. Then we started YouTube, and we were together all the time. And I mean 24/7, 7 days a week, it was just constantly. If it was like, hey, we're gonna go check the mail, we'd both go. If we need to go to Walmart, we'd both go.
And by checking the mail, we mean going to the post office, not like we both had to go walk out to the mailbox
together. Yeah, that's funny. They'd be like, oh, okay, y'all are like over the top. Yeah, we had to drive into town. Let's clarify that. You want to like go down the driveway and check the mail? No, we had a P.O. box so people couldn't know our home address. But
we wouldn't check the mail together.
I'm glad you clarified that, because people would be like, man.
That was my first thought, was like, whoa.
Yeah.
We were not like crazy, okay?
Yeah, when she'd poop, she'd kind of just like spread her legs a little bit, and I'd pee in between. We just could not be separated. That's a lie. So, don't think that. But we basically.
See, weird and awkward.
Everyone, you mind putting your foot on that plank right there? Boom, there you go.
You don't like the earthquakes?
No. And so we basically, we're together all the time. Anytime we did something together. And then we started doing YouTube full time. And that was really together all the time because it was based around our lives. So everything we did, it was just constant, always together.
And at that time, too, we were trying to not trying to, but we were technically like in a niche, I guess, of
Oh,
homesteading.
yeah,
And in our brains, because of other channels that we watched, we thought it had to be done a certain way.
yeah,
And so, like, I would be mad because I didn't want to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go outside and break the ice, or like, it was freezing cold or this and that. And it's like, but we felt like we had to do it that way because that's how other people were doing it.
yeah. And I realized real quick, you don't have to wake up the crack of dawn and bust
I know
ice.
you did not realize real quick, but we did realize over time that
Yeah,
it doesn't have to. You do it however you want to do it.
yeah. You don't have to live by other people's standards. As long as your animals are good, then who cares what anyone else thinks?
You don't have to feed the goats at 6 a.m. You could feed them at 6 p.m. if you want. It's just they're gonna know like they're gonna get fed at that time.
Yeah, Sawyer. But yeah. So we were pretty much together all the time, and once YouTube really started like working for us and stuff, um, I guess that's when it got real. And we went down to the ranch, the family ranch, and then that kind of put Jaylena in a spot that she didn't want to be in. Not saying that she didn't want to be out there at all, but it was, I don't know a whole lot of girls that would really want to live in the back of an 18-wheeler with very little, electricity, very little AC. It's basically like a desert out there. It's not the most ideal place. I know my mom would never live out there unless she was forced to. So no one really lived out there. We lived out there the longest, and probably the last, who
Since it was
knows,
a working ranch.
possibly, who knows how long, other than like people that may go out there and like do some work and stuff. But, you know, we were there a long time, and
Some days were just absolutely miserable. It was over 100 degrees most
Yeah.
days, and we were working really, really hard from
Yeah.
the moment we woke up to pretty much the moment we went to sleep.
yeah, and so it was just a lot together. And then everyone knows we ended up splitting up, and we were split for 7, 8 months, something like that, with, I mean, almost no communication with each other, no nothing. We felt that was the best thing to do, because if you split up with someone but you're still communicating, it's not going to get any better, I don't think. And you need to basically do your own thing. And we were like, I wouldn't say enemies or anything like that, but we just didn't really
Well, I know for me,
communicate, I guess.
for me, it was too hard because I never stopped caring, and so like there was a moment where I can't even talk about it.
I'll take over. I don't know where you're going with that, but
It was when we talked to each other on the phone for a second, and when your granny wasn't doing well.
oh yeah, and yeah, that was like a really rough time, and so that happened and stuff, and then we basically had to see each other for the first time in 7, 8 months, because I went to the courthouse for the final hearing for the divorce and stuff, and they said we're not doing it because of the stuff going around. We can't be inside a courtroom, so you need to get. Actually, we had met one other time at the courthouse to file all the paperwork, and Jaylena didn't say one word to me, not one word, and I was just like, all right, and I'm over here trying to be like funny guy, cracking jokes, and I'm like, she ain't buying it today, and I get why, like she just didn't want to like, have to live in that moment of getting a divorce. And so
It's the most awkward thing in the world, going to the courthouse, and it's like I know that they deal with people all the time, but it's like
we've never done that. We've never been in that situation.
well, you don't get married and expect to ever be in that situation.
Yeah, so we had to do that, and then whenever I went down for the final hearing, that's when they were like, well, you can't do this. You need to sign these papers. And I was like, not a big deal, sign them. They're like, actually, both of you have to sign them. And I'm like, I have to go see her. I have to like go get these papers signed. And I text her, and I was like, hey, can we meet and sign them? So we did, and it was awkward at first, and then we just both realized like, all right, it's not that bad, whatever. And then we somewhat I guess, communicated at that point, and then at this point, Jaylene was going to move to Nashville and try to buy a van and all this stuff. You know, she'd already like started planning for it, saving money and stuff. And I just said, well, how about before you go, since you literally haven't seen any of the property up here the way it is now, you only came up the first time. If you want to come up for just a minute and then cut back to Nashville, you know, you could do that. So she did, and I mean, we realized pretty quick that the friendship never went away. A lot of the issues we had were financial. That was a huge thing, which I think a lot of people can associate with. I mean, that was a big thing. Making YouTube a priority was a big thing. That was definitely more on my end than hers. And then, I mean, really and truly, those were the two big things. And then it was never like, I know you're cheating on me, I know you're talking to girls, or I know you're talking to guys. It was never that. It was just more of, we were together so much that I think no matter what happened, it's like anything. If you're with someone for so long, little things start to get on your nerves that probably wouldn't normally get on your nerves or anything like that. And I guess we let a lot of those things kind of take over. And once we were separated for so long, then we came up here, the thing was,
well, I did a lot of growing and changing.
I was still
when
short.
I was on my own, I guess. Lots of soul searching.
Yeah, so whenever she came up here, just like any separation, you no longer have your money together. You no longer have, you know, our YouTube channels were separate. She had hers and I had, you know, the Crockers and stuff. And then, you know, kind of just, we had our own. It wasn't sharing everything. It's like we had our own. And so at that point, we weren't arguing over, we only have this much money. We knew how much money we both had. We knew what we had to do for our own channels. We knew what we had to do for our own selves, our own vehicles, our own, anything that we had to do. It was, you know, our own. And so basically, it let us drop any of the problems we ever had, and we could just be friends. And really and truly, Jaylene was supposed to be here for like a week at the most. And then she was supposed to hit the road, but she never left, and I got stuck with her, and now I just cannot get her to leave.
Mm-hmm.
But I said, while you're here, you're going to help me build the tiny house, which clearly we haven't built anything. So what are you doing? I blame this all on you. This house would be done if Jaylena would build it.
I'm trying to leave. I'm trying to help Jason get his micro tiny house finished so that he has a warm place to stay, so he doesn't have to sleep in his truck, because right now we sleep in the van while I'm here. And so once my micro tiny house is done and he's warm and dry, I can hit the road and have some me time. And I know Jason likes his me time, so he'll be able to really hone in on some projects. And I mean, right now it's just, that's what's working for us. Like we're just friends, and we're, you know, just enjoying that.
We're just taking it day by day.
I don't plan anything.
Yeah. I wouldn't say I don't plan anything, but I try not to plan too far in advance.
I plan things. Like I'm planning a trip, and by planning a trip, I know I'm going to go towards Austin around this certain time. And that's about it.
Yeah. But we get this, you know, question a lot. Are y'all together? Are y'all separated? Are you divorced? Are you this? Are you that? We're just us. And whatever that may be today or tomorrow or a year from now, that's between us. And I know you guys are invested, but really at the end of the day, whatever we so choose that makes us the happiest, that's what we're going to do. Whether we get the divorce completely finalized and we never talk to each other again, or if we just keep it the way it is, or we throw the divorce papers out, or we get divorced and get married again, whatever we decide to do, it's our redneck life. And we could, you know, do whatever we want.
So that's our next channel is going to be Our Redneck Life. No,
yes.
Just kidding.
That sounds more like Dell and Sheila, probably. It'd make a lot more sense on there.
It'd be pretty funny.
But we just copyrighted that, by the way, so don't go steal it. But yeah, this is a question we get all the time, and I know people will still not watch and still ask us, but it kind of is what it is. We just figured we'd put it out there, everyone, mainly to our real loyal subscribers, because we haven't really talked about it in a while. Even though we talked to a lot of you guys before, and y'all said we don't care what you do as long as you're happy. And really and truly, that's kind of where we're at right now. It's working. Why mess it up? Don't try to fix what ain't broke. And at the end of the day, we just want to be happy, really and truly. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. I think we're the best now than we probably ever have been.
Well, I'm definitely not the same person I used to be.
Yeah.
Jason still has a little bit of growing to do. He's still pretty short.
I still wear Jaylena's pants from time to time.
He's in them right now.
Yeah, you can see him in the video. But, yeah, this is kind of where we're at. It just is what it is, guys. It's working. We're not going to try to change it in the moment. We're just going to live and do stuff. And like Jaylena said, she's got trips that she wants to go on. I have traveled and traveled and traveled. I've been to every lower 48 states in this awesome United States of America. And Jaylena wants to see a lot. Now, I'm not saying I never want to travel again and I never will go with her anywhere. It's just, it's kind of cool to go on your own. At the same time, it's cool to have someone with you at times. So this has given her the opportunity to live out her dream. And she wanted to do van life a long time ago. Even when we were married, we looked at buying a van, So this is a chance for her to go live her life. And that'd be pretty screwed up of me to be like, no, you need to be here with me, blah, blah, blah. No, this gives her the opportunity to go live her life and explore. And she may even travel somewhere and be like, this is where I want to settle down, So that's the beauty of it, is she gets to go live her life, and wherever it may lead, as long as we're both happy, at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Whether we're together or in different states or whatever it may be, at the end of the day, if we're happy, that's what truly matters to us. And really,
well, then
that's just it.
I feel like this last year, like, I know it was kind of miserable for you, but that's what you've always wanted to do. You've always wanted to do primitive living and like go all hardcore, and you were able to do that living in the tent and then the canvas tent and stuff. And so
yeah, it's something that I enjoy, and it's something I wouldn't want to put her through, the whole winter living that way. Like maybe every now and again, it wouldn't be that bad, but I wouldn't want to put anyone through that doesn't want to do it. So it really has given us an opportunity to just live life and not worry about the little things that you have to like truly worry about when you're, with somebody and stuff. So I don't know. I'm happy. I think Jaylena's happy. She only cried once, so I think she's doing okay. Normally she wakes up and she looks at me and starts crying. I'm like, oh, is it just because I'm so cute? She's like, no, because you're still here. So, yeah, that's that. Hopefully this clears it up. As of right now, we're just going to keep doing what we're doing. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Anything else you'd like to tell these fine folks?
No, not really. I mean, I'm happy, and I can't wait to, take some trips and be on my own and see a little bit more of the world. I've driven, like I said the other day, like I've driven to Austin hundreds of times. Like after we worked at the same company with Jared, I was basically a flight attendant on a luxury bus, and that was like one of my main routes was going to Dallas to Austin.
Yeah.
And I've never really got to stop and look anywhere. And so this will give me the chance to really enjoy Texas in a way that I never have.
Yeah. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be fun. And the coolest part of all this is we all get to experience it because Jaylene has a YouTube channel. And we get to watch all that. And then still, I'll be doing stuff here. So we're still connected. We still can keep up with each other. It's just in certain points, we have our own lives. And that's the beauty of it. And I think a lot of you guys out there would agree with that, I know a lot of people that have been married forever, but they're together all the time and they really enjoy it. And then there's people that are married, have been married for a long time, but they wish they can go out and do things. So it is, everyone works in different ways. So hopefully, it'll keep going in a good direction for us. We have no idea what the future holds, but as long as we're happy, that's all that matters. So we'll see you guys on the next one.